Is this the end of the Commonwealth Games? We have just received the list of sports that will be in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow 2026. I am now standing in front of the Utilita Arena Birmingham, the previous host of the Commonwealth Games. Some might say it's the last normal host for the Commonwealth Games, where we had a massive collection of sports that was available, a lot of them that won't be in this year, the coming edition of the Commonwealth Games. I'm telling you one thing that I'm absolutely distraught by. Badminton is not in the Commonwealth Games, so is squash, table tennis, rhythmic gymnastics, this very same arena behind me that hosted that sport that Malaysia won all their medals from, has coming up next, is not in the Commonwealth Games. My God, is that a massive expense? It's a massive expense, in fact, for Malaysia. We were top 10 in the medals table. I think we were 9th, something like that. We won 7 gold medals at the Commonwealth Games last year. Will we get 7? I think there's absolutely no chance that is happening. We got 2 of them from badminton. There's 2 already absolutely eliminated, right? And first of all, we are a badminton channel. There's pros and cons to this, but ultimately, I'm not too disappointed that badminton is not in the Commonwealth Games. It is a little bit of a pub tournament. It is a tournament where Malaysia can kind of scam their way to the final or the semi-finals at the very least. Anything less than that is considered a disappointment, because there's only Malaysia in Singapore that might challenge Malaysia, India that will definitely challenge Malaysia, England that might or might not challenge Malaysia. Is not in the right decision. But it is a little bit of a pub tournament. It is a little bit like the Pizza Cup in the terms of football, you know. Not very well respected. It is a name that you play for, and I cannot reject the fact that my girls, Perlitan and Tina, might possibly be the last ever. They might have played the last ever badminton match in the Commonwealth Games history. Don't forget, they played the final match on the finals day against Chloe Birch and Lawrence Smith. One day that I'll never forget in my head. August the 7th, 2022, Perlitan and Tina against Chloe Birch and Lawrence Smith in the final 21-5, 21-8 at the NEC Birmingham. That might be the last ever badminton game played in Commonwealth Games history. And I cannot, and I will never forget that. It paved the way for them to win the French Open. It paved the way. It wrote a journey, a romantic journey towards reaching the semi-final of the Olympics in Paris. And it all started at the Commonwealth Games. But saying all of that, it's absolutely irrelevant when you're making players play week in, week out on the World Tour, trying to get points to reach the World Tour finals, trying to win gold medals at the World Championships, trying to obtain points in the ranking points in the Olympic Games to try and qualify for it. And you try and add another tournament into it. Like, I think it's only the right decision in terms of a competitive aspect, in terms of a content. I'm speaking from a fan, not even from a content creator. Because if I'm purely saying from a content creator, I would love to have the Commonwealth Games because I can make more watch-alongs for you guys. But I'm just saying this from a welfare point of view of the Commonwealth Games. It's a great thing. It's more of a positive thing. Yes, it's one less thing to add to the schedule, but it's also one less burden if you think of it from the player's perspective. Lee Zijia got a lot of hate last year for not joining the Commonwealth Games. He was injured. What do you want him to do? Do you want to hate on him because he lost in the semi-final to, let's say, Toby Benty? Or do you want to hate at him for not joining the Commonwealth Games? You know, he's in a double-edged sword, and that double-edged sword will not even be a situation. It will never be even a situation had the Commonwealth Games not been there, and it won't be there in the 2026 Glasgow edition. I find that really surprising, considering they've got the stadium to do it. They have Emirates Arena, but it's absolutely irrelevant. They chose not to be in it. A few organizations such as Badminton England are deeply saddened. Let's be honest, they're being saddened because this is their only chance to probably get a semi-final in the doubles. They're probably their only chance to get into the semi-finals. As from a Malaysian sport aspect, I find it a little bit disappointing, right? Aside from badminton, I find it a little bit disappointing that a lot of the sports that Malaysia are good at aren't in the Commonwealth Games. Because, why? Because I want to see Malaysia win. I want to see Malaysia win. I want to see Malaysia do well. That is ultimately what I want. I want to see Malaysia get as many medals as possible. And if you eliminate the things like rhythmic gymnastics, where Malaysia has consistently attained medals from, if you take away things like table tennis, Karen Lin and his partner won the silver medal, I think, in the mixed double. Ho Ying as well, taking the team event with an Darence Chan. If you take that one away, it's one less chance to win a medal. But ultimately, we need to invest in other sports. So, you know, you can see it as a negative, but you can also see it as a positive as well. There'll be better investment for things like athletics, and obviously we've got, I'm not saying Azim Fahmi can go and win the medal at the Commonwealth Games, but it gives that we need more funding. OCM, they can allocate funding to those sports that will be in it. Or OCM, right? Or OCM might just send a limited delegation, right? We normally send a team of around 100 to go to the Commonwealth Games. We might even just send a team of 30, because I tell you what, right? Malaysia will be lucky to win 4 gold medals. We're lucky to even win 3. We're lucky to win 3. A lot of the chances that we are in diving as well. Don't forget that. Diving as well. Diving is not in the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, which I find it a little bit surprising, because considering they've got a freaking aquatic centre, why can't you just add another program in? But, you know, it's this budget kind of thing, you know. They wouldn't say that. They'll complain. Oh, Malaysia, you know, he's just making budget. It's not fair, you know. They only make the sport that we win. But, you know, when the orang putih, bila the Mat Saleh, dia mau buat macam tu, kasih dia buat lah, you know, buat like that lah, you know. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You know. But I find it an absolute disgrace. I find it, is it still relevant, the Commonwealth Games? Is it relevant? Really? Right? If you only have 10, where is the sporting integrity? I think there is more freaking sporting integrity in the SEA Games compared to the freaking Commonwealth Games. If I'm going to be honest, right? I think there's more integrity in fucking Sukma. Because Sukma, at least, there's a wide variety of sport. Commonwealth Games, you have 10. What is the point? What is the point of these games? It's just one to add to the calendar. And, you know, where in an era where athletes are crying for welfare, in the era where athletes are saying too much competition, you want to add another competition to go and tax their bodies. Come on. Unacceptable in the highest order. I think this might be the last. We might be watching the death of the Commonwealth Games. Glasgow might be it. I genuinely think we don't have a host for 2030. No one's volunteered for it. I know Malaysia, 1998, Kuala Lumpur, dalam saya punya hati juga, you know, kini standing in the eyes of the world. Stadium Nasional Bukit Jalil, but it's a legacy. Times change, and we need to change as well. This might be the end of the Commonwealth Games. I'm sorry, guys. It could be the end of the Commonwealth Games. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll speak to you guys in a little bit.